great to be here. I'll just tell you, I had a chance to see Kamala Harris get off the plane. She is in the house right now. And I will tell you, she's fired up. She loves Flint. She loves Saginaw. She loves the Bay region. She loves Michigan, and we love Kamala Harris. You know, I had a chance to get to know Kamala very well. We were seatmates in the United States Senate. We sat next to each other. We came in together. And I tell you, I got to know her not just as a colleague, but as a friend. And I can tell you she cares deeply about people. She cares deeply about public service. And she is going to make an amazing president of the United States of America. And another thing I know is we're sitting here right here in Flint. This is the home of the union movement in America, is Flint. And I know Kamala believes in her very soul that you cannot have a great country if you do not have a strong and vibrant union movement. It's unions. And I tell you, she is not just a person who talks the talk. You hear, we have a few of those folks who talk the talk, but Kamala has actually walked the walk. She is on picket lines with the SEIU, with the UAW, standing for workers. And if she does that, you know she will be standing for working men and women all across the country every single day as the President of the United States of America. Kamala believes that America must always be the land of opportunity, where every worker, no matter who they are, no matter where they live, they are entitled to a fair wage. She also believes that healthcare is a right for every American that we must always fight for. And Kamala believes after you've worked your whole life, you deserve to retire with dignity. So this race is a very clear choice between Donald Trump, who's a man who always puts himself first, and it's versus Kamala Harris, who always puts the American people first. She always puts the American middle class and those who aspire to be in the middle class first. And she does that because that's her roots. She grew up as a middle-class kid, and she has never forgotten where she came from. She will always be there for us every single day as a president. So you know, we know elections are about voters making a choice. And really what we're doing, what do we do when we go to vote? We're basically hiring someone. As voters, we get the chance to hire someone to be the President of the United States. So as you go to hire someone, what happens when you go for a job? You want to check the references. You know, let's just call a few people who know that person, not when they're on camera, not when the lights are on, but when you're in the room with them making decisions. Let's check those references. So I'm going to check some references for you here. So you don't have to believe me. When I check these references, you don't have to believe me. Believe the folks that I'm going to quote. These are people who were in the inner circle of the Trump White House. So let's hear. This is a quote from Trump's first Secretary of Defense. So this is his quote. Trump is more dangerous than anyone could ever imagine. So I have to ask you the question, Would you hire that guy? Really? Would you hire him? Yeah, I tell you, maybe we should get another reference. So let's go to another reference. Let's go to the secretary, the second Secretary of Defense that Mr. Trump had. In his inner circle, in his Secretary of Defense, the second one said, quote, he puts himself before country. His actions are all about him and not about the country. Would you hire a guy like that? No. Oh, my God. I guess I have to go on. We got to find another reference. Let's find another reference. Okay, what about his Attorney General? That's a really big job on the inside. What does the Attorney General say? His quote, his former Attorney General, quote, he will always put his own interest and gratifying his own ego ahead of everything else, including the country's interest. Would you hire a guy like that? Oh, my God. I'll get one more. Maybe this will change. I don't know. Let's see here. Let's talk to his Secretary of Homeland Security and his White House Chief of Staff. You can't get anybody closer to you than the Chief of Staff at the White House and Homeland Security. I chair Homeland Security in the Senate. That's a big job. That's an important job. And what did he say? He said, quote, the depths of his dishonesty is just astounding to me. He is, listen to this, he is the most flawed person I have ever met in my life. Would you hire a guy like that? No, I can't go on. I can't keep going on these references. Clearly he fails. I'd hang up after all those references saying, decision made. We are not going to hire that guy. So, well, obviously those references had a real impact on you here today, so. I tell you, but I mean, to me, these are high officials. These are people who are in the room, who see him when the lights aren't on. And if that is what they're saying about him, we know that we have to win. We know that we have to send someone with integrity, someone with courage, someone who's passionate about fighting for everyday people, someone who grew up in the middle class and understands the struggles that everyday families go in. And that person is Kamala Harris. And I'm going to take a little detour here just to put another plug in. I'm proud to serve in the United States Senate, and Kamala needs to have a Democratic majority in the United States Senate. It's difficult to do the job you have to do, and we're leaving a great colleague of mine, Debbie Stabenow, is retiring. Debbie Stabenow did an amazing job for us here in the state of Michigan. One of my jobs is I chair the Democratic Senate Campaign Committee. My job is to hold the majority in the United States Senate. So I have no pressure on me whatsoever here. But I will tell you, the only way we hold the majority in the United States Senate is that we have to elect Alyssa Slotkin as the next Democratic senator in Michigan. So I'm confident we know we've got great candidates, but we also know you do not win an election with having a great rally. We win an election by getting out there, talking to voters, knocking doors, making calls. So I hope when we all leave here, we're going to be fired up. You're going to see Kamala. Man, you'll be fired up when you see our great candidate. But I hope you make the commitment now that when you leave, we are going to work. We're going to hit the streets. We're going to knock on doors. We're going to talk to our neighbors. We're going to make sure that we win. We have to do something, and when we do something, the whole country, we're going to leave this vision, the whole country's going to be watching on Election Day, because we are the center of the political universe. And because you put everything out there, because you've worked, you've done everything that you can out there, you're going to be watching that television. Michigan's going to come up on the screen, and you're going to jump out of your seat because of all the work we did, and you're going to say, Michigan is a blue state. We've elected Kamala Harris. Lisa Slotkin on to victory.